Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. We're in the mountains of Guatemala, and I thought this would be a good time to tell you a story. It's just raining a little bit now, but it's been raining back there. It was raining really, really bad. I was going to start the video then, but it was raining so hard you couldn't hear me talk. So that's why I thought, well, I better wait for the rain to calm down. So, but anyway, one time I came down, it was in the early 90s, and you got to remember, internet really is probably about the last 5 or 6 years, internet's been going on down here. I mean, you can find it. You can find it. Before that, it was just about impossible to find. Only the rich people had it. So now it's pretty much all over. Like I say, you can use a credit card now. It used to be you couldn't use a credit card. So you had to carry cash. So for sure, in the early 90s, there was no credit card. But you had to carry cash. And so you'd be carrying a lot of cash when you travel. But what happened is I came down, and that time I also wasn't on the internet, so I couldn't tell. It was hard to do your research on what's going on. So I just got in the car. Well, I was a travel companion, and I drove somebody down here, and we were in a pickup, a little Toyota pickup. This was back when little Toyota pickups were little and tiny. And so we were driving down through Mexico, and a different part of Mexico that we went through today. But we were going along, and man, it was raining hard, and I didn't know any better. I mean, maybe it's supposed to rain here. I mean, it's tropical jungle. Tropical jungle gets rain, so maybe. And I'm used. The only rain that I know of, I mean, real rain, is in Vietnam when we had monsoon, and it was a really nasty hard rain. This wasn't nasty hard, so not compared to a monsoon. So I thought, well, that's the way it's supposed to be. No big deal. And so we came, and it was raining really, really hard. And it was Tapachula. We went through Tapachula, the southern tip of Mexico. And we were going through on the street, and we're in this pickup. I had to tailgate. I had to tailgate down. And so I'm driving along through the town, and it's raining really, really hard. And so I thought, well, I probably should turn over here somewhere. But I didn't know where I was. I was completely lost. And so I looked in the mirror, and what I saw in the mirror was water pushing up against the back window of the pickup. The roads was flooded, and I'm going slower than the water is flowing. So I'm going, and that water is filled up my bed, was pushing up the back of the window. The water was pushing me down the road. And so I'm thinking, well, how do I turn? I can't stop. Forget about stopping. But how am I going to turn? And so what I ended up doing, I saw a big intersection ahead, and so I gave it the gas, and I started going fast, about the same speed as the water, maybe a little faster, and then I made the curve and got out of the flow of the water. And so, and then from there, like I say, I mean, it was nasty. And we went across the border, and at that place, that border crossing, was a bridge. You had to cross this river, and you crossed the bridge. And everybody was on that bridge. There was hundreds of people on the bridge. Because if you weren't on the bridge, you were getting flooded. So they were up on the bridge. And that was spooky. We had the only car, all these people there, and I'm going along real slow, inching my way through the crowd. And they're all just watching the water coming up and, you know, going crazy. So we crossed the bridge, and we ended up going on into Shela, Custancanango, Guatemala. We ended up going on to that. We got there like at midnight, and so I'm banging on the windows, let everybody know I'm here, and everybody was shocked. They couldn't believe that we got there. And so I said, well, what's the big thing? And they said, there's a hurricane going on. And there wasn't no traffic. I mean, there wasn't nobody out there. And too, when you're like that, you don't know if there's a mudslide ahead and it blocked off the traffic, bridge is out. You don't know anything that's going on when there's no traffic. But we just kept on going. And it was really scary. And that's what they said. They said they weren't worried. And I said, well, you were worried about us. And they said, no, we weren't worried because there's no way you can drive in this kind of weather. So they thought we were held up in some hotel somewhere. And, of course, there was no telephone wasn't going. I mean, it got washed out. And, it was a hurricane. It was bad. And we were right amongst it and didn't even know it. So, shit hits the fan different ways. And if we would have had a problem, that would have been shit hit the fan. We didn't have a problem, so it ended up being a real cool adventure. And so that's what most of my stuff that I get into is just real cool adventures. When things go bad, that means shit hits the fan. And the more you go through shit hit the fan situations, the more you... Whoa! Wow! I wasn't even going fast. And the road was gone, and they replaced it, but they didn't make it the same level. I mean, it's you ever seen pictures of what happens after earthquakes, where the road, chunks of road, they're uneven like that? That's what that was. It was an uneven road, and then all they did was put some asphalt in there, so then you weren't hitting like a curb, but it was dropped off on this side. It was a drop off. I'm gonna have to let you go. I think I'm in the middle of an adventure, and I don't want to turn into a shit hits the fan. So I'll let you go. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.